With this week's Torah portion of Parshat Bemidbar, we start a new book. Bemidbar concentrates on the counting of Bnei Israel, amassing their numbers, accounting their numbers for the sake of battle and ultimately conquering Eretz Israel. Chazal tell us that one is discouraged from counting people. Number one, because it causes an ayin hara, and number two, it demonstrates a lack of faith. When we count our troops, a lack of faith in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and in ultimately, capital H, His assistance that He offers us. But perhaps the Torah is teaching us a very important lesson, and that is, what exactly does it take to count, to consider yourself important, to feel important and secure with yourself, both as an individual and as a nation. In the Haftarah, taken from Hosea Hanavi, Hosea the prophet, in this week's Haftorah portion, it says, "Umispar b'nei Yisrael kechol hayam." The counting, the numbers of the Jewish people will be like the grains of sand upon the shores of the sea. And yet we know that the Jewish people are also compared not only to the grains of sands, but also to kochvei hashamayim, to the stars above, in the heavens above. What is the difference between the two? What is each characteristic coming to teach us? A very, very important lesson. You see, stars need to exist by themselves. Every single star offers an amazing amount of light and energy and ultimate purpose in this world. The moment that two stars, God forbid, would come too close to one another, there would be an enormous explosion. And so every single star needs to exist on its lonesome, by itself, and shine with its own potential. And yet, at the same time, when we look at the grains of sand upon the sea, we know that every single grain of sand touch one another. It is only if every grain of sand was by itself, it would be completely insignificant. It's only when those grains of sand come and collaborate as one that they become a mass of sand that covers the sea, that covers the seashore. If they were to stand by themselves, they would be completely insignificant. We'd pay no attention to them. But because the grains of sand collaborate and ultimately come together, they become a mighty force. What we learn from here is a very important principle. In order for a person to be counted, in order to feel that they count, they need two things. On the one hand, the person has to be like a star in the heaven. They have to feel like they are an individual. I have something to contribute to this world. I have something to shine within this world that only I, with my individual components and characteristics, can offer in this world. If, God forbid, somebody invades that space, it will be terribly intrusive to who I am, to my personality, respect who I am as an individual. And yet at the same time, we also need to feel a part of a unit. A grain of sand on its own is non-existent, but we need to feel a part of a nation, that we are part of a purpose, an ideology, ultimately resonating with us and promoting our purpose as a whole. This is a very important lesson with regards not only to mental health and people who are dealing with challenges, but really to every single individual in this world. We all need to feel our individual. We all need to feel that we are personally responsible and capable and accountable. But at the same time, we also need to feel that we're part of a purpose, that we're part of a greater mass that is promoting and offering a tremendous ideology in this world. We need to feel that we're part of furthering an idea in this world as a congregation. Only then does a person truly Bamidbar, only then does a person in the desert not feel alone and feel that they too count. This is the principle that we start, with which we start this new book of Bamidbar. It is such an important matter and foundation for us to embrace in ourselves and, of course, as a nation at this particular time. This is the Torah way, it is the Jewish way, and it always will be the Gila way. Shabbat Shalom.